What if some of the most beautiful, heartbreaking, and authentic gay love stories ever put on screen were hiding in plain sight, just in a language you haven't explored yet? Today we're diving into 10 absolutely stunning, non-English gay films that most people have never even heard of. These are hidden gems from Argentina, France, Peru, Finland, Switzerland, and beyond. And trust me, by the end of this video, your watch list is going to be completely full. Let's get into it. Number 10. Eststeros.
No.
Kicking off our list is Eststeros, a gorgeous Argentine film that takes us back to the kind of first love most of us never forget. Matias and Geronimo are childhood best friends who spend their summers together in the wetlands of northeastern Argentina, the Eststeros. As boys, their bond is effortless and deep, and one summer that closeness crosses into something more intimate. But before either of them can fully understand what's happening between them, Matias's family moves to Brazil for his father's job, and the two are torn apart without any real goodbye. No conversation, no closure, just distance. Years later, Matias returns to Argentina with his Brazilian girlfriend for Carnival and unexpectedly crosses paths with Geronimo, who has been more open about who he is. When they reconnect, all those buried feelings come rushing back: the tension, the longing, the what-ifs. The film moves between past and present, showing us the innocence of their boyhood summers alongside the complicated reality of adulthood. Matias is forced to confront whether he's been running from himself this whole time, and whether going back to the Eststeros, both literally and emotionally, might be the only way to finally be honest. It's tender, it's nostalgic, and it hits you right in the chest. Number 9. BPM. This next film is a powerhouse. BPM is set in early 1990s Paris during the height of the AIDS crisis and follows the members of ACT UP Paris, a group of activists fighting for government action, public awareness, and access to treatment while the people around them are dying. At the center is Sean, a passionate, sometimes reckless activist who is HIV positive and deeply committed to the cause. He meets Nathan, a newer, quieter member of the group who is HIV negative. The two are drawn to each other, and their relationship becomes one of the most honest and devastating love stories you'll ever see on film. Their romance doesn't exist in a vacuum. It lives inside meetings, protests, die-ins, heated arguments about strategy in hospital rooms. As Sean's health begins to deteriorate, the film shifts from the political to the deeply personal. Nathan watches the man he loves slip away, and the group they both belong to grapples with grief even as they keep fighting. The film doesn't shy away from anything: the sex, the anger, the joy, the dying. It treats every part of these men's lives with equal weight and respect. Director Robin Campillo drew from his own experiences with ACT UP to craft this story, and you can feel that authenticity in every frame. BPM won the Grand Prix at Cannes, and it absolutely earned it. Number 8. The Blonde One. The Blonde One, or Un Rubio, is a slow-burning Argentine film about two co-workers at a woodwork shop who become unlikely roommates, and then something more. After his brother moves out, Juan needs someone to share his suburban Buenos Aires apartment, and Gabriel, the quiet, reserved blonde from work, moves in. Juan is rough around the edges, always having girls over, drinking beer, and watching football with his mates. And one night something shifts. Juan's wandering hands and meaningful looks meet Gabriel's quiet resistance at first, but the physical connection between them gradually evolves into something deeper. Juan continues seeing women, determined to maintain his macho image. Gabriel is more in touch with his desires but doesn't push. The film lives in the silences between them: the loaded glances, the lingering proximity, the small domestic gestures that reveal more than words ever could. Director Marco Berger builds the entire story through what is unspoken, and both lead actors deliver performances that are achingly real. Both men are forced to reckon with what they want versus what they think they're supposed to want. It's quiet, it's real, and it's the kind of film that stays with you long after the credits roll. Number 7. Hawaii.
No.
Hawaii is another Argentine gem from Marco Berger, a beautifully understated film about reconnection and unspoken desire. Eugenio is spending the summer at his family's countryside home. One day, Martin shows up at his door, a former childhood friend who's now down on his luck, orphaned, and looking for any work he can find. Eugenio offers him a place to stay in exchange for help fixing up the property. As the two men work side by side in the summer heat, old memories resurface. The film gradually reveals that their bond as boys may have been more complicated than a simple friendship. Now, as adults, that unfinished emotional business simmers beneath every interaction. Eugenio is guarded but clearly affected. Martin is warm but evasive about his past. A class divide between them. Eugenio comes from money, Martin has nothing, adds another layer of tension. The title refers to childhood viewfinder slides of Hawaii that the boys once marveled at together in a shared fantasy escape that now carries a bittersweet weight. The film asks whether two people can pick up where they left off, or whether some distances are too great to close. Before we continue, if you're loving this list, go ahead and hit that join button to become a member of the PrideFlix community. It really helps us keep making content like this and bringing you the best queer cinema from around the world. All right, let's keep going. Number 6, Taekwondo. Taekwondo takes a completely different approach. It's set almost entirely at a country house outside Buenos Aires, where a group of guys, all friends, gather for a summer getaway. They swim, they barbecue, they train Taekwondo, they lounge around in the sun. It's relaxed, masculine, and seemingly uneventful. But beneath the surface, something is quietly building. Fernando, the host, has invited Germán, but he doesn't know whether Fernando or anyone else in the group is aware, or whether Fernando feels the same pull he does. The other guys don't seem to notice the tension, or maybe they do, and just don't care. The film is almost voyeuristic in how it captures the casual intimacy between male friends, the shirtless roughhousing, the shared spaces, the easy physical closeness. What makes Taekwondo fascinating is what it doesn't say. There are no dramatic confessions, no crises. The tension between Fernando and Germán builds through eye contact, proximity, and the way they orbit each other within the group. When something finally does happen between them, it feels inevitable rather than shocking. And the other men's reaction, or lack thereof, says everything about the kind of world the film is quietly imagining. It's a slow, sensual, sun-drenched film that rewards patience. Number 5, End of the Century.
Sabes, tengo una sensación extraña.
End of the Century is one of the most inventive queer films to come out of recent years. It starts simply. Ocho, an Argentine poet living in New York, is on vacation alone in Barcelona. He notices a man, Javi, a Spaniard now living in Berlin. They eventually meet, they hook up, and then something extraordinary happens. They realize they've met before, 20 years ago, under very different circumstances. The film shifts back to 1999, where we see their first encounter and both closeted, both navigating very different lives. Back then, they were connected through Javi's girlfriend Sonia, and the timing wasn't right for either of them to act on what they felt. The film moves fluidly between past and present, blurring the line between memory and fantasy, and even introducing a third timeline that may or may not be real. The same actors play the characters in both eras, which makes the whole experience feel dreamlike and almost out of time. As Ocho and Javi talk about their lives, their choices, the roads not taken, the film becomes a meditation on time, regret, and the idea that some connections transcend a single moment. It's romantic, cerebral, and deeply melancholic all at once. You'll want to watch it twice just to catch everything. Number 4, Mario.
Hey! No!
Mario is a Swiss-German film that brings queer storytelling into the world of professional football. Mario is a talented young footballer on the rise at the BSC Young Boys, under-21 team in Switzerland. When Leon, a new striker from Germany, joins the squad, the two are paired together on and off the pitch, even assigned to share a player's apartment. What begins as a competitive dynamic turns into friendship, then attraction, and eventually a secret relationship. They try to keep everything hidden, but rumors begin to spread within the team after they're spotted together. When the club's management catches wind of the situation, Mario faces an impossible choice: his career or his relationship. The football world is portrayed as ruthlessly conformist. His agent tells him bluntly that being gay is not good for his market value, and his teammates resort to bullying and taunts, and their relationship strains under the weight of external forces neither of them can control. What's striking is that nobody in the film claims to be homophobic. They all just insist the sport isn't ready, which makes the cruelty feel even more insidious. The film doesn't offer easy answers. It shows the real cost of being closeted in a hyper-masculine professional environment and the sacrifices that come with choosing authenticity over ambition, or vice versa. Number 3, hidden kisses. Hidden Kisses, or Bézers Cachés, is a French film that tackles the devastating reality of homophobic bullying among teenagers, and it does so with both sensitivity and urgency. Nathan is a shy 16-year-old who has just transferred to a new high school. At a school party, he meets Louis, and the two share a secret kiss. Everything changes when someone photographs them, and the image is posted on Facebook without their consent. It goes viral within the school, and overnight Nathan becomes a target. The bullying escalates quickly: verbal abuse, physical attacks in class, social isolation. Nathan's single father, a policeman, struggles to protect his son while grappling with his own discomfort about Nathan's sexuality. Louis, under pressure from those around him, distances himself from Nathan and even turns on him to protect his own reputation. Nathan is left increasingly alone, and the film doesn't look away from how dark things get for him. But Hidden Kisses is also about the people who step up. A teacher named Catherine plays a pivotal role in challenging the cruelty, and in one powerful scene, she quietly reveals her own truth to her students. Eventually, Nathan's father comes around too, choosing to support his son when it matters most. The film is a gut punch, but it carries an important message about the consequences of silence and the power of standing with someone. Number 2, Contra Coriente. Contra Coriente, which translates to Undertow, is a Peruvian film that blends magical realism with a deeply emotional love story, and it's unlike anything else on this list. Miguel is a fisherman in a small, conservative coastal village, married to Mariela, who is pregnant with their first child. He's also secretly in love with Santiago, a painter who lives on the outskirts of town. They carry on a passionate affair in hiding, but Miguel is terrified of being exposed in a community where machismo and tradition rule everything. Then Santiago drowns. His body is swept out to sea and never recovered. But here's where the film takes a stunning turn. Santiago's ghost appears to Miguel, visible only to him. According to local belief, Santiago's spirit cannot rest until his body is found and given a proper burial. Miguel is now caught between two worlds: the living world where he must maintain his reputation and marriage, and the supernatural world where the man he loved is literally haunting him, asking to be acknowledged. To set Santiago's spirit free, Miguel must do the one thing he's been avoiding his entire life: publicly admit that he loved another man. The film builds to a climax that is both heartbreaking and cathartic, as Miguel finally chooses truth over fear. Contra Coriente won audience awards at festivals around the world, and once you see it, you'll understand why. Number 1, A Moment in the Reeds.
I'm happy that you are here.
Topping our list is A Moment in the Reeds, a Finnish film that is as peaceful as it is emotionally powerful. Levi is a young Finnish literature student who returns home from his studies in Paris to spend the summer helping his estranged father renovate a lakeside cottage for sale. Their relationship is strained. His father is traditional and emotionally distant. To speed up the renovation, the father hires Tarek, a Syrian asylum seeker who was an architect back home but now takes whatever work he can find. When the father leaves on business, Levi and Tarek are left alone, speaking English, the only language they share, And when the father doesn't speak, what begins as cautious coexistence quickly deepens. Tarek shares what it was like to flee Syria and the uncertainty of his asylum status. Levy opens up about his father and his own sense of displacement. A romantic connection develops, and for a brief window of time, the cottage becomes a kind of sanctuary. But reality is always waiting. Tarek could be deported at any time. Levy's father will return. The film's final act is quietly devastating, as both men confront the fact that this beautiful thing they found may not survive the circumstances that surround it. A Moment in the Reeds is about love across every kind of border: cultural, linguistic, generational, geographic, and the fragile, fleeting nature of connection. And those are 10 stunning, non-English gay films that deserve so much more attention. If even one of these makes it onto your watch list tonight, this video did its job. Let us know in the comments which one you're watching first. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a PrideFlix video. We'll see you in the next one.